So you came out of the army when, sort of? In
1922.
1922, and then what did you do?
I come up here. My mother was the first one in this house. When it was built in 1918, in 19, she came here. And I came home when I was demobbed, come here with her to live in 1922, and then I got married on the Christmas, 1920 on Christmas Day. Went to Bath and married my wife that just died. And that was in 1922. And then after that, we got a little cottage down here, just down here on the road. It's only a little small thatch cottage. And I had 3 sons then, when in the finishing. I put in for a bigger house. I went into a council house. Well then, my father died. After some years, my mother was took very, very bad, and she was rushed off to Subject Hospital, and she died. Well, she had a brother that was badly wounded in the First War. He had a stiff leg. Bob, his name was, Uncle Bob. And she made me promise anything happened to her, I'd look after him. Well, I applied for the house and I got it. My mother's death caused my uncle to have a sudden heart attack and he died.
Oh,
within a week sad. In the same place, Subject Hospital. So anyhow, that's how I come to be in this house. Yeah.
And so, what job did you do after that?
I was a bricklayer all my life.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I was a bricklayer all my life.
And your sons following in your footsteps?
All the sons. I got George, the oldest one, he's a bricklayer. Harold, the bricklayer, for Gibbs's. And John's on his own now, and Bob, I had one between them. Bob, he had that was Eileen's Wells, you know, Eileen North.
Yes.
Her husband, that was my 3rd son. He had a severe heart attack because he died.
Uh-huh.
And then there's John, he's got a visitor with Lambourne, Adams, the sons.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Is Gibbs still going?
Yeah. My son, he's building 8 houses at Greenham.
He's not well, is he?
Harold? Yeah, that's George, oldest
George.
one.
This is another one.
This is the younger one.
Ah,
Harold's next one down now.
Uh-huh.
No, George, I'll tell you where he's working at the present day. Do you know Miss Mills up the Common? Her father used to have the radio shop down on the fridge years ago. Mills.
Oh, I've heard of him, yes.
Well, she's up there doing some work for her.
Oh, yes, yes.
No, he gets about, but he suffers a lot with his chest, George.
Does he? Yes.
Well, he had a bad time, I think, in this last war. He was in the Commandos, you know.
Oh, was he?
He had a bad time.
So tell me about the town. When were these roads made? Was this a tarmac road, or?
This wasn't. This was, of course, this site here was farmland.
Yeah.
And Mr. Macklin used to farm this.
That's right.
But
yes.
when we had these out of that road, there was nothing but brickbats. It wasn't for going to be anybody then. Look.
What, this Atherton
This
Crescent?
one, Addison Crescent.
Yes. When were these houses built?
In 1919.
Oh yes.
After the war.
But the main road, the Salisbury
Road. Oh, that main road always been there at my time.
Yes.
Yes.
But it wasn't so much around Eddington, was it?
No, all those roads was done up. They only used to be, see, years ago. They used to go on these fields when had sheep on there. Of course, when sheep been on there, all the stones come up, you know. Well, then they used to get the old women to go out and perhaps a penny a bushel. They'd put them inside the road and heap them, look, and then when the council, Hungerford District Council come along, look, because it belonged to the Hungerford Council then, look, the roads round here. They used to go and get them stones and put them on the road, and the steamboat used to roll them in. See, there was no tarmac or nothing in them days, look. No.
So you've seen great changes?
Oh, yes.
There weren't many cars when you were a lad?
No, if we see a car when I was a boy, we used to run behind them. It was a sight to be seen.
And keep up with them?
Yes. Yes, it wasn't what there is now. No.
And now tell me about the shops then.
Well, now I suppose you can start from Eddington. I'll go through, it'll take too long, I don't expect.
Not so much. Actually, George Eatwell did tell me quite a lot about the shops.
Yes,
tell me about the main changes.
Well, where should we start from the bridge?
Well, we'll start from the top here.
Well,
on the west side.
Going down here on this side.
Yes.
Well, the shop now is the hairdressers. That used to be a baker's shop.
Which they?
Canning's.
Canning's?
Yes, Mr. Canning's, he had it.
Oh.
The baker shop.
Haven't heard of him.
No, well down further on down where Smith the accountant is, that was another baker, Mr. Bat. He was a baker.
Uh-huh.
Well then going on down, let's go on down now how far, well there's was down below with all cottages then. Going on there, we should get the next one. Well, when you go to where the vets is now, there's a little shop before that, where young Bill Wells used to live, William Wells. Well, that was another baker shop run by Mr. Harris. And then up in vets, there was a veterinary there, the veterinary officer. Then up there was a blacksmith shop. And Mr. Caswell used to be a blacksmith there. He used to run it for the vets. He used to have the vets used to keep a blacksmith for going out on their
Well, he lived down at the forge, didn't he?
That was another Caswell, Victor.
That was Victor, yes.
And that's a different,
different one.
Later on that I'll tell you later. No, this was he was getting on when I was a boy. Well, then down below the vets now, there was the big house. I think the people just gone away and they sold it.
Wilton House.
Wilton House, I think they've let it.
It used to be Friar's Pardon.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Of course, when I was Dr. Morton used to be a doctor in there, and then he went away. Anyhow, going down there, you got the Congregational Chapel. Then you had some more houses. Well, then, what's there now up there? Let me see. Oh, there was a Mr. Parsons, a photographer. He had a place down there, just down before you got to Adams' yard. Well, then up in the yard was Adams. They had a mill up there. He used to grind the corn in different things. See, a mill that was.
Oh.
Mr. Adams, his name was.
Adams, corn merchants, yes.
Well, they're just down where his house was, on the side of his house. He used to have a little shop. They used to sell all seeds, bird seed, flower seeds. Well, then, of course, next door with Antiques, that was Alexander's and Sons, the grocers. They were biggest grocers, they were here. That's the firm I worked for.
Yes.
Well, then we go down then further, what they're pulling about now was Spackman's shop. Well, that was Gingel's.
Yes.
Well, then down below now, where the paper shop is now, that was Miss Nichol.
Yes, hardware.
You know Miss Nichol.
Yeah, I know her very well.
Well, my brother worked for her for years, my brother Tom. Well, then she had hardware, and also she had where the wine store is now. That was a saddler's shop. Used to repair all saddles. Harness maker. Well, then the next house down was called the Crown Public House.
Oh, the Crown was there, was it? Yes,
that was a public house called the Crown.
Yes.
And of course, then you had the Corn Exchange.
Yes.
And then where you got the...
you had the Barnards.
You had old Freddie Barnard used to have the fit shop.
Yeah.
His two sisters used to run the paper shop.
Yes.
And then Mr. Bartholomew was on the corner. He was an undertaker in a upholstery and all that he used to do, Mr. Bartholomew. Well,
then we get to Church Street.
That's going on down to Church Street. Well, now we go down towards the railway bridge. Of course, that was a doctor's house then. Dr. Barker used to have it.
Oh, yes.
And his surgery used to be just up Church Street where a woman in the corner got some books, and a little bookshop before you get to the library. The little place in the...
Yes,
well, that's what was his surgery.
Yes.
Well, then going on down now under the railway bridge, they've just altered the little house there, haven't they?
They've altered what was the estate agents?
Yes, well, they put it in now to a bookmaker's.
That's right.
Jones has just done it.
Yes.
Well, that used to be a butcher shop, London and Central Meat Company. And I don't know where you were to the Talmadge family about Hungerford. There's a lot of them here, the children. Their father used to be manager for it, Harry Talmadge. Well, now the next one down was the Chinese shop now. That was Killick grocery shop. Killick's.
Yes.
Now let's go down a bit. Oh, next door was All Rights, where the co-op is. That was All Rights. They had 3 department stores there. You know, they had a clothing, earthenware, and another one for odds and ends like boots and shoes and that. So they had 3 departments there. Well, then